Completely exhausted and don't understand why, not even your doctor is able to find out because your labs are normal. I get it. I can remember so being exhausted and like to the point of not even hardly being able to hold up my head. Like I had to, like, I was like that because of the exhaustion. And I want to share what it was in my story that was creating the exhaustion and why the doctors couldn't find it, why my labs looked normal. So, years ago, I was so exhausted and it like slowly increased throughout the years. It got worse and worse until the point of being nearly bedridden. And so I understand exhaustion, right? Like when you're in the point of being stuck in bed because you're so tired, you get exhaustion. But maybe it's just trying to keep up with your kids. Maybe you're just trying to survive life and keep your job. Either way, no matter what, it's frustrating to be exhausted all the time. It doesn't give up, it doesn't relent, it sticks. And so I want to help you find a solution. By the way, my name is Angela Gasper, and I help women overcome exhaustion and gain the clarity in their mind and regain their strength in life. And if you have symptoms, more symptoms than exhaustion, maybe unexplainable symptoms, comment quiz and I'll send you my free quiz to narrow it down. What could it be? And try to help with that discovery process. Because I know you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, right? So, again, I got to the point of being so exhausted that I was nearly bedbound, and that's not fun. And what we eventually found was there was so much inflammation inside of my body that it was creating the exhaustion. Like it was almost like suffocating my cells in my body. And so we had to get down to the root cause of what was causing the inflammation, right? I tried fixing my diet and that helped. Taking out inflammatory foods helped tremendously, but it didn't relieve me of the exhaustion completely. In fact, it actually continued to get worse. I'd find some relief immediately, but then I'd go backwards again. It almost felt like climbing a ladder up 2 steps and then falling down one. Up 2 steps, falling down one. That's what my journey was like. And my goal is to help save you from that frustration. You don't have to take the 10 years that it took me to find my health. Because of my experience and my research, my knowledge, I'm able to help you overcome. So, I have a question for you. Do you ever see a little bit of mold in your house somewhere, in places, maybe underneath your kitchen sink or in your bathroom somewhere? Around your windows is a common place, or along the floorboards and anywhere throughout your house, or maybe your laundry room. You live in a humid state. Those are all potential reasons to why your body is inflamed. Why it's so inflamed that it's causing your mind to be inflamed. That's brain fog, inflammation in the brain, in the mind. Or why your whole body is just exhausted, like it's suffocating. That's chronic exhaustion, chronic fatigue. That's it. Could be an outside factor that maybe you're breathing in every single day, and it could be a little bit of mold. Unfortunately, it only takes that much, like the size of a quarter, of mold to make you exhausted, to inflame your body, creating that exhaustion, that chronic exhaustion, where it's just making life hard. Just that much little bit of mold. It doesn't take much. So what do? First off, never, ever, ever use bleach to clean up that mold. Never use bleach. Second, depending on the surface and what's appropriate for the surface, I personally use peroxide. Peroxide eats the mold. So before I ever scrub on mold, I'm going to spray it with peroxide because it's going to start eating it. Mold is a live organism. It's intended, it was created to help clean the earth. We get mold when the leaves fall off the trees, and it's intended to eat the things that are old, that need to be cleaned up. So it's got a really good purpose, but when it's in our house, it's so bad for our lungs. It's so bad for our bodies, and we're not meant to live in environments with mold. Unfortunately, the building practices today in the United States kind of facilitate mold growth. So it's not uncommon to see mold in your house. You don't have to have a gross, unkept house. My house was a newly built house. The builders flooded it. So it does not mean that you're disgusting because you have mold, okay? And so if you have just a little bit, we got to get it cleaned up. Got to clean it up properly. So again, peroxide, if the material it's on can handle peroxide, use peroxide to clean it up. And you can use borax. The borax is like a granular material. You can mix that with some baking soda too, and then you could pour some vinegar on it if the material can handle that, of course. Vinegar kills about 90% of mold, so it's not as effective, but it is a good tool if it's appropriate for the surface that the mold is on. Again, like scrubbing it with borax and baking soda mixture is great too. And then peroxide is my absolute favorite for cleaning up the mold. But next, for your body, there's inflammatory tests that your doctor can do to help determine if mold is your issue. But unfortunately, most medical doctors don't recognize mold as a medical issue, a medical emergency, or as a root cause for exhaustion, root cause for health issues. So you're going to want to go see a functional medicine doctor, an integrative medicine doctor, someone who's more holistic, who looks at health a little bit differently. They look for a root cause and actually helping the body to restore itself, facilitating that restoration process. And usually they are really good with getting to that root cause and helping you fix that inflammation and going through the whole journey. If you want ideas of medical doctors, comment below medical doctor or medical or help, and put the state that you're in, and I can see if I know someone that would be useful in your area. I also know of several who do stuff online or virtually, so through Zoom meetings and phone calls. So comment below doctor. Just do doctor. That's easier, right? And so let me know, and I can get you in touch. Okay, so chronic exhaustion, chronic fatigue is more than likely your body is suffocating from an external factor that you're taking in. So it could be related to your food, your diet. But oftentimes, what's more serious, we breathe more than what we eat, right? So oftentimes, our air is more often that cause for the chronic exhaustion. Both can be looked at, both can be fixed, both can be made better. But if you'd be willing to consider looking around your house for any sort of mold growth, it could be in your refrigerator, it could be in your basement. I had a house with a little tiny bit of mold growth in the basement, and I took the peroxide and sprayed those boards, and I scrubbed it after I sprayed them, and every couple days I'd go back down and I'd spray it again, until it was gone. It wasn't spreading any further, and that's ultimately the goal, is to get the mold to not spread any further. Sometimes you have to actually remediate the house and pull out the drywall, pull out the windows, replace them, some of those things. But most cases probably aren't that extreme, right? So just a little bit of maintenance with the right products, the right tools, can go a long way for your health, and so that you're not so exhausted. It makes it easier to survive life and enjoy life. One more thing before we take off, I want to touch with bleach. If you Google how to take care of mold, you're gonna see it come up more than likely that you should be dealing with using bleach on the mold. That is completely false. Don't do it. Bleach mixed with mold actually creates like a chemical warfare. It's so toxic for you. It's so much worse than just the mold alone. And what the bleach does is it only bleaches it so it looks like it's taking care of the mold. It's still there. The mold is still there. It's resilient. It does not get killed from that bleach. So don't use bleach on the mold, because when you put bleach on it and then you scrub, it goes poof into the air, and you breathe that in, those mold spores, the mycotoxins that go with the mold. You're breathing that in, and oh my goodness, it's making it so much worse. It's infiltrating your body, and so it can truly devastate your health. Of course, our bodies are made to heal. So we were made in the image of God. We were designed by God, and we were given the mind of Christ, given God's mind. And so we can heal, but don't even challenge it. Okay, so stick away from bleach in general and simply use peroxide, borax, and vinegar if it's appropriate. And those are 3 great items. If you have moldy clothes, those are great items to use in your laundry machine to help with that also. Oh, the laundry machine. That is a very common place for mold, especially if you have front loaders. If this adds value to you, please comment below. Value. Let me know. And then if you want that quiz with all the symptoms that could be that you're probably dealing with, and what it could actually be leading to, my goal is to help you get to the root cause and help you fix the root cause so that your body can restore its energy, restore its brain clarity, and you're just feeling better and ready for life. So comment quiz below. And then, of course, if you enjoyed this, please subscribe to my channel and hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell notifications so you know every time I upload another video. I try to do it twice a week, and you'll be notified when that happens. So I greatly appreciate you, and I want you to live in health. Be blessed.